If you've seen some of my videos, you know I love to show not only the good teams around the country, but more than that, I love to show the bad teams in the country. So today, I'm taking the worst college football team from each state, putting them on an imperialism map, and we're going to find out who is the worst and who can lose every single time they go out and play and take over the whole entire US. The rules are, I'm going to spin the wheel, I'm going to spin the arrow, and the team that it lands on will be attacking to that direction. This is the wheel and the arrow. For example, you spin the arrow, you spin the wheel. This one's not going to count, but Nevada would be heading to the north to take on the team to their north, which would be Boise State. So Boise State would be the home team because they're getting attacked, and then Nevada would take on them, and the loser is going to be the team that gets the land. It's not going to be the winner because we're trying to find out who's going to lose every single game. So let's hop in. Let's get our first real roll and see who's kicking it off. You're going to notice that Army is in Kansas, which is because I looked up where the Army University is, and it says it's in Kansas, but they actually play in West Point, which is in New York. So that is why they are in Kansas and not over in New York. Here we go. First matchup is going to be Old Dominion taking on the team to their east. That team looks like it's going to be Navy, who is representing Maryland. So let's hop into it and see who's going to lose our first matchup and gain some land. This game is all tied up at the half, 14-14. Old Dominion has the ball, all tied up with 30 seconds left. All they need is a field goal, but it looks like they're going to try to get a touchdown. They pull the read option, and that is exactly what they're going to do. They get a touchdown. They're up 7 with only 27 seconds left. Old Dominion is the first team off of the map. Who's going to be next? Buffalo taking on the team to their northwest. Who's going to be? The closest thing to their northwest would be Central Michigan. So Buffalo will be heading to Central Michigan to face off. Just like I thought it would be, a low-scoring action. 7-3, Central Michigan leads. With only 10 seconds left, Buffalo needs a touchdown on this play, and they haven't scored a touchdown all game. It comes down to this. They get the snap off barely, and they throw a flat, and they're going to go out sorry as they lose without scoring a single touchdown. I don't know why they're wearing Wisconsin helmets, but it is what it is. Central Michigan is done for this imperialism, and Buffalo will be taking all of Michigan. Central Michigan and Old Dominion, the first two teams out. USF will be taking on the team to their north. The team to their north is going to be Georgia State. Let's see if Georgia State's going to pick up Florida by losing, or USF is going to pick up Georgia by losing. Let's find out. At the half, Georgia State leads 14-7. It looks like Georgia State's going to be heading out after one game as they pick up the dub 28-14 over USF, and South Florida will be continuing on with a big piece of land of their own. Who's up next on the wheel with USF losing in the last game? It looks like it's going to be Utah State heading up north to take on the team above them. It looks like that team above them is Boise State. So the winner of this match will be gone, and the loser will be the leader and the most land taken up. Utah State has a 10-point lead on the blue turf. It doesn't look like Boise came to play on the blue turf. They lose by 17 to Utah State, and they will be picking up all of Utah and now hold the most land in the entire country. Another team down with Utah State winning and Boise advancing. Now it's going to be Washington State going to their northwest, which is the ocean. So we're going to spin again. It's going to be Washington State again heading to their south, which I do believe is a team. And that team is Oregon State, one of the best teams in this thing. It just happens to be in the same state as Oregon. So Oregon State will be hosting Washington State. Oregon State leads at home 17-7 at the half. Oregon State showing why they probably shouldn't have been in this thing. They just got unfortunate, and they're not better than Oregon, and they're the only other team in the state. And they are gone after one game. They destroy Washington State 34-7. The next spin is going to be Minnesota, and they're going to be taking on the team to their east. The map is starting to change a little bit, and Minnesota to their east is Wisconsin, a Big Ten matchup. Who's going to lose? This is a good old Big Ten matchup. 2 field goals by Minnesota, nothing by Wisconsin at the half. It all comes down to this 2-point conversion right here. Minnesota needs it to send it to overtime. If they can't get it, it'll be over. And they get stuffed at the goal line. They tried to run a draw to get it, and they can't get it. Minnesota will be advancing, and Wisconsin wins, and they're gone. The wheel's getting less and less teams on it, and Navy will be playing again, our first team to play twice, and they're going to be heading south. To the south of them is Charlotte, so they will be taking on Charlotte. Is Navy going to be the first team to lose twice? They're down 20-0 at the half against Charlotte. Navy didn't even put up a fight, let alone put up a point. They lose 23-0, or it might be 30-0 against Charlotte. Navy was the first team to lose twice. Who's going to be losing this game? Iowa State heading to their northwest. To their northwest is an empty state and kind of Minnesota. So we want to see a matchup, right? Minnesota versus Iowa State. Here we go. Is Minnesota going to be the second team to lose twice? They're down 14 to Iowa State at the half. Although Minnesota's probably going to score here, it doesn't matter as they're down 41-22 to Iowa State, and they're going to be the second team to lose 2 games, and they will be picking up a big chunk of land in the Midwest of the U.S. Who's going to be the next team that has a chance to gain some land by losing a game? It's going to be Washington State again. I don't know how I keep getting the same teams, but they're going to be taking on the team to the west, which is the Ocean. So we will be spinning again. This team is going to be Buffalo, who already has played, and they're going to be taking on the team to their east. It does look like Buffalo has a team to their east, and that team is Boston College. At the half, Boston College is up 13. It's looking like we're going to have another 2-loss team already. Can Buffalo come back, or is Boston College going to keep the dub? It looks like Boston College is going to hold on as there's only a minute left and they're up 2 possessions. Buffalo is going to lose their second game of this imperialism. On to the next spin. Give us a team who hasn't played. It's Minnesota once again. They are giving them chances after chances to win a game and get rid of their land. Who are they going to be taking on now? The team to their southwest. And it looks like they're going to have another Big Ten matchup as the team to their southwest is Nebraska. It is not looking great for Minnesota as they're down 15 at the half to Nebraska. With a minute 30 left, if Nebraska scores here, it's all over for Minnesota, and they will have lost 3 straight. And that is exactly what happened. Nebraska wins, and they're out of this thing after 1 game, and Minnesota continues to lose. Who's it gonna be? Who's playing now? Give us a team who hasn't played. Yes, West Virginia will be taking on the team to their north. That team to their north is the Akron Zips. It's not looking good so far for West Virginia, as they've only managed a safety in the first half. They're down 8 heading into the second. Another game is coming down to a 2-point conversion. With a minute left, West Virginia needs this 2-point conversion to send it to overtime. Can they get it? They drop back to pass, and it doesn't look like they get it. They do complete the pass, but he can't get into the end zone as Akron's going to pull off a massive upset, and they're out of this. Another disappointment for West Virginia. But what's new, as Buffalo will be playing again. There was no team to their north, so I just gave them one of the small states above them. So we spin again. and it's going to be Ball State taking on the team to their south. The team to Ball State's south is Western Kentucky. Here we go. Ball State leads 7-3 on the road at the half. This one's all but over as Ball State has a 2-possession lead, and they're knocking on the door with only a minute left. So Western Kentucky is going to lose, and they are going to pick up the state of Indiana. And Ball State's going to throw an extra touchdown just to make sure they win. Who's up next on the chopping block? It is going to be Rutgers heading to their north. And that team is going to be none other than Buffalo. They are playing once again. Buffalo leads 14-7. Is it time for Buffalo to say goodbye to this thing? Or can they continue that losing streak and add some more land? It looks like Buffalo's run is going to end here as Rutgers loses one game and picks up all of that land. They do pick up a late touchdown, but I don't think it's going to matter as Buffalo takes this one. All it took was one loss by Rutgers to pick up all that land, and now it's going to be Coastal Carolina taking on the team to their northeast. That team to their northeast is going to be none other than Navy playing in their third game. Can they avoid the 3 losses? Let's find out. It looks like Navy has found themselves in a terrible position. Once again, they're down 17-0 at the half to Coastal Carolina. This one is all over as Coastal Carolina can just run out the clock with kneels. They win 20-7 over Navy, and they join Minnesota as the second 3-loss team so far. Less and less teams on the wheel. Who's going to be playing? It's going to be Western Kentucky playing once again, playing the team to their east. And that team to their east is going to be West Virginia. West Virginia goes down early, but then they battle back and they got a 4-point lead heading into the half. Western Kentucky has found themselves in a bad situation, but they've got a chance. They need a touchdown on this play. Need to throw it about 65 yards down the field and catch it. It's popped up in the air and it's going to fall. West Virginia is going to win, and Western Kentucky is going to pick up a big piece of land. Less and less teams are on this wheel as we spin it again. Southern Miss will be taking on the team to their south. If we go down to the southeast from where their logo's at, it does look like it does clip a little bit of Alabama, so they will be taking on Alabama Birmingham. UAB shuts out Southern Miss at the half 10-0. It's not looking good for Southern Miss. If UAB makes this field goal, it's all but over. It'll be giving them a 2-possession lead. The kick is up, and the kick is good. UAB wins this game. Southern Miss picks up some land, and they will have to keep going. Who's going to be next on the chopping block? It looks like Western Kentucky's going to be playing once again. Can we get some new teams, please? It looks like the team to their east is going to be Navy. So one of the teams I have played a bunch will not be playing no longer after this game. Once again, Navy is struggling. They're down 21-3 at the half. The loser of this game will hold the biggest piece of land, so you do not want to lose this game. Biggest play of the game. Navy has fought back. 4th and goal. They need to score on this play or they're going to lose, and they get sacked. They had the chance to do it. They were only down 5, and they blew on a 4th and goal. Western Kentucky is going to win, and Navy now owns the biggest piece of land there is. There's only 22 teams left. Who's going to be playing? It's going to be Nevada. They have yet to play, and they're taking on the team to their northwest. There is Washington State, and there's Stanford to their northwest. But we're going to go with Stanford because they have yet to play also. It's not looking good for Stanford at the half. They are down 17 to Nevada. It all comes down to this play. Stanford has came back. They are only down 6. They have the ball on the Nevada 36-yard line. They need a touchdown on this play. They sling it downfield, and it's going to be broken up, and Stanford is going to lose. And Nevada, a team who I thought was going to be a favorite to win this whole thing, is gone after one game. Here's a little map update. This is what it's looking like. Out west, we have 4 teams holding up a lot of the space. And then on the east, we have Navy taking over by losing all of these games. They've played in a lot of games. And then Minnesota in the central, they've got a big piece of land. Who's going to be playing now and who's going to get the opportunity to leave this thing? It's going to be Washington State taking on the team to their southeast. That team to their southeast is looking like it's going to be Boise State or Stanford. I'm going to say it's Boise State. We're headed back to the blue field. At the half, Boise State's losing on the blue turf. Once again, they're down 7-3. Washington State down 7. Boise trying to get out of this thing. They need a 94-yard touchdown, and it does not look like they're going to get it, as Boise State's going to win, and Washington State's going to pick up a massive piece of land, and they might be holding the most land in the whole thing now. Who's going to be taking on who next? It looks like Navy's going to be playing once again and heading to their west. And that team could be a lot of teams. That team could be Northern Illinois. It could be Vanderbilt. It could be USF. But we're going to go with Vanderbilt since they're right in the middle of that section. And whoever loses is going to take it all. Once again, it's not looking good for Navy. You'd think after all these games, they would manage a win. But they're down 14 at half. Can they come back? Or are they going to lose once again? It looks like Navy is once again going to lose. They're down 13 to Vanderbilt with only a minute left, and they're about to score another touchdown. It is not looking good for Navy at all. But Arkansas State will be playing their first game, and they will be heading to their south. It looks like that team is going to be another team who has yet to play, Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech's up 14-0 at the half at home. It's not looking good for Arkansas State. It all comes down to this onside kick. Arkansas State needs it or they're going to lose. It does not look like they're going to get it, as Louisiana Tech is going to avoid the comeback. And they are out of this thing. And Arkansas State picks up their land. Who's going to be next? Is it going to be a team that already played? It is going to be a team that has already played. Stanford will be heading to their east. And that team to their east is going to be Washington State. And whoever loses this game is going to own the whole West Coast. It's not looking good for Stanford at the half. They're down double digits. Can they come back? Or is Washington State going to hold on? It looks like Washington State's barely going to hold off Stanford as they tried to come back. But they're just going to kneel out the clock and secure the dub, as Stanford will be acquiring the whole West Coast. Who's going to be the next team adding some land to their land? It looks like Arizona State is going to be heading south. I know in real life there's no team to the south of Arizona, but on this map there is a team south of Arizona, and it's Hawaii. So we're going to have Hawaii taking on Arizona State. It's looking like Hawaii's probably going to be heading inland as they're down 22 at the half. Hawaii made no attempt at the comeback as they lose 31-6, and now they've moved inland and taken over Arizona. All right, who is going to be up next? It looks like it's going to be Missouri, a team who has yet to play, will be heading to the northwest. And that team to their northwest is the 3-time loser, Minnesota. Can they get a dub? Missouri has the little lead at the half. They're up 10-6 on the road. Minnesota has cut it within 5. They need this onside kick or this ball game is over, and it doesn't look like they're going to get it as Missouri recovers, and they will get the dub, and Minnesota will lose their 4th game, and they will pick up another big chunk of land. It's not looking good for Minnesota as they picked up a massive piece of land again, but Arkansas State will be heading to the northwest as they play their second game. And that team to their northwest is going to be Tulsa. So let's see who's going to win. This one is all but over, and it's only halftime. Tulsa's up 31-0 on Arkansas State. Arkansas State showed no fight in this one as they lose 41-7, and they'll be picking up Tulsa's land of Oklahoma. We are down to 14 teams remaining. It's starting to heat up as Wyoming is going to get into the mix, heading to their northeast. There is nobody to their northeast, so we're just going to give them the state. All right, we spin again, and it's going to land on USF. And there's no team to their south, I don't believe. So, in that case, we spin again. It's going to be Southern Miss taking on the team to their east. And that team happens to be the team that got away with the spin last spin, USF. This one's looking like it's going to be a close one. It's 7-7 at the half. Southern Miss decided that they didn't want to show up in the second half, and USF took advantage as they go on to win by 14. Who's up next on the road? It will be Rutgers back to playing games, and they will be heading to the southwest. Southern Miss has taken over the whole southeast corner of the U.S., but Rutgers, they will be taking on the team to their southwest. That could be either Navy or Temple, but Temple has yet to play, so we're going to have them play. Rutgers versus Temple. Temple's trying to make this a short run in this. They are up 10 at the half. Rutgers with the ball, 4th and 13. If they want any chance to win this game, they need to pick this up and score a touchdown. 4th and 13, they throw it under, and they're not going to pick up the first, as Temple is going to go on to win this thing, and Rutgers is going to add to their land. There is still some teams that haven't played. Can we get one of them? And we do. Army will be playing. Navy has played a lot, but Army has yet to play, and they'll be heading north. The team to their north is Minnesota. Can Minnesota finally get a dub and give Army all this land, or will they continue their losing streak? Both teams' offenses are producing in the first half, but Minnesota has the 3-point edge heading into the half. We find ourselves in overtime. Army is down 3. If they can get a touchdown, they will pull off this upset and force Minnesota to add land. And they're throwing for the end zone, and they're going to get the touchdown as Army knocks off Minnesota in Minnesota. And they will have to pick up some more land. They cannot escape this thing. There still is a few teams out there that haven't played. Can we get one with Arkansas State playing to the south? It does look like we're going to get a team that hasn't played, as Arkansas State is going to be taking on Texas State. In Texas State's first game, it's not looking good for them. They're down 10 at the half to Arkansas State. It only took Texas State one game to pick up a massive piece of land, as they will fall to Arkansas State 34-15 as the time runs out and they chuck it downfield. They are going to lose. We're getting closer and closer to the end. Who's going to be playing? It's going to be Wyoming heading to their west. The only team to their west is Stanford, and whoever loses this game will own the biggest chunk of land in the country. This game is all tied up at the half, 10-10. Can they do it? They're going to hike the ball. They're going to hand it off, and he is going to get in for the touchdown as Wyoming picks up a massive piece of land, and they're still in it. Final 9, who is going to be playing? It's going to be Wyoming again to the north. They have nobody to the north, so we're going to spin again, and it's going to be Navy heading to their west. The only team to Navy's east is Rutgers, so that's who they'll be taking on. It looks like it's a good old shootout, 3-3 at the half. Both teams are stinking it up. It looks like Navy is going to continue their journey on the road to taking over the whole entire U.S. by losing every single game, as they let in another touchdown to go down 25-6 with only 1:14 left. We still have 3 teams who have yet to play. Can we get one of them? We almost do, but it's Wyoming. And Wyoming can't go north, so we will be spinning again, and it's going to be Northern Illinois, who has yet to play, and they're going to be heading to their east. And it is going to be another game for Navy. All they need to do is win one of these to get rid of all of their land. Can they do it against Northern Illinois? Let's find out. Once again, Navy is back in the same position they've been all day, down 21 at the half. Northern Illinois had to wait a while to play their first game, but they showed up and showed out as they destroy Navy by 31, and it looks like Navy is unstoppable in this imperialism, as it looks like they're on the fast track to owning the whole entire country. Back at the wheel and arrow, who's it going to be this time? It's going to be Minnesota once again, heading to their south. And that team to their south is going to be Texas State. And whoever loses this one will be owning the whole entire middle of the U.S. Minnesota has finally found themselves up double digits after all of this. They are up 11 at the half, 13-2 against Texas State. It looks like Minnesota's run at this thing is going to come to an end as they beat Texas State 30-9, and Texas State now holds the most land in all of the nation. It took me this long to realize that Hawaii was not even on the wheel the whole entire time. So on the map, I just took them off and I put Wyoming in their states. 6 teams left. We're getting closer to the finish, and Colorado State, a team who has yet to play this deep into the tournament. It looks like the team to their northeast is going to be that little piece of what used to be Nebraska but is now Texas State. So it will be Colorado State versus Texas State. Texas State is trying their best to hand over the Central U.S. to Colorado State as they're up 10 at the half. Colorado State didn't even give this game a chance. They lose 34-3 to Texas State and take over all of Central USA. There's only 5 teams left and 1 team has yet to play, but it is not Southern Miss. They will be going to their west, and they will be taking on the team that just lost by a million, Colorado State. It's not looking good for Colorado State once again as they're down 14 at the half. Colorado State gave it all they had. They tried to fight back, but Southern Miss is going to pull off the dub as they win 21-17 and hand over all of the Southeast to Colorado State. Only 4 teams left and 1 has yet to play, but that one has turned into none as New Mexico will be playing their first game, and that game will be against Colorado State. Their 3rd straight game and their 3rd straight opportunity to try and win a game. New Mexico in their first game already down 14 at the half. If they lose this game, they will have played 1 game and they will have the most land in all of the U.S. It looks like New Mexico will have to take all of that land as they get crushed 28-0 by Colorado State. It's come down to 3 teams who will be playing who. Wyoming will be heading to their southeast. Their southeast is none other than the team that just got destroyed. It will be New Mexico hosting Wyoming. Wyoming with the 10-point lead over New Mexico at the half. New Mexico, who has just started playing, is about to take over 75% of the country. Can they come back or not? This is the biggest play of the game so far. A minute left. New Mexico down by 6. They need this first down, and he gets destroyed just short of the first down. And Wyoming looks like they're going to get the dub, and New Mexico is going to have to take all of their land. It all comes down to this. New Mexico, the team who has only played 2 games and lost both, has managed to pick up about 75% of the U.S. And they will be taking on Navy, who at the beginning of this video tried to lose to every single team possible. They haven't played in a while, but this next spin will be for whoever is the away team, so you do not want to win this spin. The away team is going to be Navy, heading to New Mexico. We started with 40-some teams representing their state by being the worst college football team in that state, and it has come down to 2 teams, Navy and New Mexico. 2 teams that are terrible at football will be facing off, and the loser will be the winner of this imperialism map. Let's get into it. Navy comes out hot. Unlike any other game they've played in this video, they're up 13-0 after the first quarter. It is not looking good for New Mexico. They've managed to get down by 20 to a team who has been getting slaughtered in every single game they've played. Can they come back? Or is Navy going to win a game finally? It looks like Navy's probably going to pull this thing off, and New Mexico will be the ultimate toilet bowl champion, and they will be the ultimate loser of the imperialism worst college football teams in the nation. They lose by 17 as they don't even put up a fight, and Navy wins. This is what the final map is looking like. New Mexico takes it all over. I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you want to see me do any more imperialism maps, let me know down in the comments. And any other videos you'd like to see, let me know down below. Like and subscribe. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers. That's it for me today. Peace.